Welcome to the Health Made Easy podcast. Health advice so easy, you'll feel more confident about your body, health, and life. And now, your host, Dr. Connie Jean.
Hi, Dr. Connie here. So there's many different holistic approaches to living with lupus. But one key element is through diet. So why start with the diet? Well, because it's safe to assume that we all have leaky gut and are in need of restoration. Additionally, food is something we have complete control over. Then the question is, which diet is best? From autoimmune paleo, Whole30, plant-based vegan to everything else in between, it is extremely confusing when considering which diet would be best for us. I've tried them all and studied the research behind each of them, and they all have legitimate basis for their claims. However, I believe it's not about fitting into a diet, but it's about eating the foods that your body needs. We found that while one diet may work for some, the same diet may not work for others. We all have individual genetic differences and have different physiological needs. What I recommend for those of you who are wanting to alter your diets and begin to use food as medicine is to start with the lupus gut healing diet. It's an anti-inflammatory diet with all the potentially offending foods removed from the diet. This is because those offending foods have an inflammatory effect on the body and can perpetuate and worsen the leaky gut. Stay on the lupus gut healing diet for at least 28 days. Then add those foods that you eliminated back to your diet to determine if they cause certain symptoms, such as aches and pains, rashes, fatigue, and brain fog. This is the most economical way to both diagnose and treat your food sensitivity. You should aim to eliminate gluten altogether from your diet, as it's been linked to worsening autoimmune conditions due to a protein in our bodies called zonulin. So lupus, autoimmune diets. Well, issues with various experts sharing yet another diet to cure disease is confusing now more than ever before. They all contradict one another and speak from assumptions that may not apply to everyone. Autoimmune paleo assumes that everyone should eat meat. If you don't, you'll be surprised to find limited options for protein, as the typical vegan protein sources tend to also be higher in carbs. Keto diet. The keto camp advocates bacon, sausage, and high-fat foods that may not necessarily be good for some autoimmune patients. We find that while one may lose weight while on this diet, the toxic load can be skyrocketed if you have a compromised ability to detoxify. It has also been found that the inflammatory markers can be elevated and result in the loss of lean muscle mass rather than the loss of fat. Plant-based diets. Many with autoimmune conditions struggle with small intestinal bowel overgrowth, also known as SIBO, due to lack of digestive enzymes and hydrochloric acid in our stomach. In such cases, eating a high-fiber diet can cause discomfort and pain to the gut, which may have a negative effect. I'm not saying plant-based is bad, but it may be for an autoimmune patient for a short time. And for those with metabolic issues such as diabetes and insulin resistance, the high net carbs in the diet will increase the sugar rush into the bloodstream, which ultimately has a net inflammatory effect. This is not what we want. So focus on the food. Rather than getting lost in the nuances of different types of diets, it's far more productive to tailor the foods themselves to you. So a little bit of Eastern wisdom. Yin and yang applies to all things in life. So during the summer months, produce tends to be expansive and fast growing. This period is expansive growth, represents yang. We tend to eat raw produce during this time, like cold salads and smoothies. So during the fall, things slow down and start to wither in preparation for the winter ahead. So there is a yang to yin transition. And during the winter months, everything is yin, where we contract and hibernate. We crave foods that are cooked like soups and warm foods. Then comes spring, where the transition from yin to yang takes place, where things start to bud and grow. Download the seasonal produce guide using the link below, because all things comes down to balance. Why can't we have the cake and eat it too? That's been my motto. Few rules apply when you embark on a new way to eat. Number one is eat whole foods. Simply, if Mother Nature made it, it's likely safe. Avoid man-made, artificially altered foods that involve plastic packaging and processing of any kind. Second, eat in season and what's local. This means that you don't eat a watermelon in the middle of a winter month and eat a local produce that's right for the season. Number three is we all have phases where sometimes we feel under the weather and other days we feel like we can tackle the world. So listen to your body. Number four is be mindful when you eat. Taste and feel the texture in your mouth and connect to the nourishing nutrients being absorbed. Number five is to listen to your feelings. When feeling anxious, frustrated, angry, or sad, refrain from eating as you're not in the best position to make smart choices on the food. Number six is practice fasting for up to 15 hours. If you ate dinner at 6 p.m., don't eat breakfast until 9 a.m. 15 hours between dinner and breakfast is a simple way to give your gut a break. Number seven is eat the rainbows. We're habitual when choosing food, so eat a variety of colors and try to think rainbows. Foods with colors provides much needed nutrients and antioxidants to help us regain our health. Number eight, choose vegetables at every meal. For lunch and dinner especially, let vegetables be at least 50% of your plate. Number nine is to go easy with the fruits. While they're considered nature's candy, they do contain fructose, which is sugar. And when eaten, they can spike up the sugar levels and give you an insulin surge, which is highly inflammatory to us with autoimmune conditions. I would recommend that you cultivate self-awareness by owning your body. This means paying attention to feelings when you're eating, how it makes you feel, and how it affects or the effect it has on you. Begin to tune into your senses to understand what your body is trying to tell you, rather than relying on the so-called experts to dictate this diet or that diet, which may not be what you need. You, my friend, are your best doctor. Give yourself some credit and let's start owning our own health. I hope you enjoyed this blog. I encourage you to follow our Facebook pages, Lupus Rebel and Alkaline Method, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and our podcast, Health Made Easy. Have a great week, and I'll be back with more next week.
Thanks for listening to the Health Made Easy podcast. www.drconniejean.com